So if you ride Supermoto like me and you feel you've kind of ridden to the best of your ability on the road, you might want to go to the next level, and that means going racing. And if you live in England like me, there's only really one place to do that, and that's with norasport. So I decided, yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to go racing. So I had a look into it, and there's only one championship, like I say, which is the norasport championship. So I had a look on their website, checked out everything, tried to find out what license I would need, tried to find out what bike I would need, what's the restrictions, what classes they do, and all the information's on there. It just takes a bit of like sifting through. I've also had quite a lot of help from guys on Instagram that, since mentioning that I wanted to go racing, quite a few people have sort of reached out who already compete. They've been helping me out quite a bit with where to look and emails, people to email, and the right questions to ask. So yeah, I figured I'm going to document from the start all the way through to my first race, how I went about it, what bike I'm going to look at, all my paddock set up, how I'm going to set that up, how I'm going to prepare for my race, and yeah, hopefully you can take something from it. So the first thing I'm going to need is a bike. I've got the 690, which I see quite a few people on like videos. I've seen people using them, but they're kind of, I don't know if they're frowned upon or they're not a real supermoto, I suppose. And they are quite heavy. They're 150 kilos as opposed to like a 450, which is what, less than 100 kilos. So I thought, right, do it properly. Let's go and find ourselves a 450. And you can get all the, obviously you can go for the Honda, Husqvarna, TM, KTM, and I thought, well, I've already got KTM. My last bike was a KTM. My bike before that was a KTM. So I may as well just go and get another KTM. So that's when I started having a look. So this is everything I got as part of the package. I got a set of wheels with some fairly new, if not like brand new, wets on, ready to go. That one's got a sprocket and a disc. The front's just bare. I think it's probably got spacers. That's about it. I've got a box full of bits. There's enough for oil changes, spare inner tubes, loads of sprockets there. Once I work out which gearing setup works best for tracks, obviously, then I can probably label them up a bit better, make a note and leave it all in there so I know which ones to use. Got another rear tyre which is used, but I mean it's fairly good now. I would say for how my standard, that's probably going to do like at least a weekend, you would think. I got a set of tyre warmers. So yeah, this is the bike I've gone for anyway. It's a 2009 SMR 450. It's already got a load of bits fitted. So it's got the axle sliders on the rear, the sliders on the pegs that you need, and the front sliders and bar ends, sort of. I suppose that's your slider, I guess. It's got this full acro system, which is quite nice. Sounds good. All the way up. Got exhaust protector, good to go for any spills. It's got some graphics on it, but these are from the other guy, Brian, so he's had his own made up. I'm just going to use these for the last race of this season, and then over winter I'll probably strip most of the bike down and I can then put my own touch on it, pick my own number, ready for next year. It's got this pretty beefy front brake setup, so they come with a radial mount anyway, which I imagine that's how they came back in 2009. It's got a pretty big master cylinder it feels quite nice, the front brake on it. It's got a quick shifter which can be turned on and off up here, which is pretty handy. That all works down inside there. And then it's just got, I've never had one of these where it's got like a little trigger underneath. The ones I've had in the past have been like inline, but I guess that doesn't work with a dirt bike because there's no like connecting rod. So yeah, looking forward to taking her out. So, gonna go for a bit of a ride already. I'm glad I came to check all my stuff because already my generator is kind of packed up, so I got no tyre warmers, which if that was a race would have been a bit annoying. But apart from that, I've put them on. I went out, tested it, warm tyres, put them on, and then it keeps it a little bit warm, but they're probably not hot, they're just, so yeah. I've got some cheerleaders. Rick's here. Rick's fixed my generator. It appears to have jumped into life after one big pull, but that's one less thing to worry about, I think. But there she is. She's so pretty. So pretty. What? Tight? Oh. What, tight? It's not going to work there, is it?
Hang on. I've got
Do everything. Do everything.
Okay, so it turns out the chain's pretty tight. I mean, it's a bit loose like that, but as soon as you sit on it, she gone tight. Tight as tight. So to help me with my prep, I ordered a whiteboard, which I thought would make it way easier so I can write everything, like every concern I have or everything I need to check, anything I think of as I'm like just coming past the garage, I can go, oh, that was something I want to check. At least at that, I can just write it on my whiteboard. Then when I get time, when I'm like, right, I'm going to do race stuff today, I can go look, see what's on the board, work my way through and chip things off the list. And look at that, it's actually quite a nice finished one, to be fair. There she is. Not quite up yet. I mean, it can go full height, obviously just the legs, but that's it, 3 metre by 3 metre. And then I got all the sides with it. But yeah, we'll get that on when we get to Teesside on Friday. Nice one, good job, co-pilot. Sounds echoey in here now. Got my big toolbox as well. Everything on my list, my last few things to check. I've got all them now. So let's have a look. The van is all loaded. Amy's good. She's made us. She's got us a nice load of camping gear set. Here we go. That's everything. All set. Bit of camping here, plus all my gear, and there's gazebo, a few clothes, got all my spare wheels, although it's looking, fingers crossed, dry. Tools and spares down there, a few chairs. That's it. Should be a nice little setup when we get there. So we're down in the bottom paddock. I think we'll be annoying all these guys.
Oh.
It's not a Peter Jackson movie. Because they're not opening the bottom paddock until 3 o'clock, but I want to try and get a few hours on, so we're going to just get the bike out, Jenny, tyre warmers, load it with fuel, put everything back in the van, then at 3 o'clock go in there, find a nice place, and hopefully I've got some laps in. I'll just ride the bike in, move the truck, away we go. That's the plan. We've moved now, we've actually got a paddock place. So we're going to set up here next to the JCB, and then there's my bike. That's what you get for having no stand. You just got to lean it on anything that's solid. Lean it on anything that weighs more than the bike. Right, let's do it. So this is our paddock. Probably going to put the sides on, but we had to go, and then the wind picked up and it just all went a little bit mental. So we moved it back to the fence, and we've hopefully don't pull the fence down. It's kind of half down. And then here's our little cosy hotel room. It's probably better than the last one we stayed at in Hartlepool, to be fair.
Yep.
So we're going to cook a bit of hot dog, a bit of burger, have some M&Ms for pudding, just live it up really. So, missed the first practice, well, missed the only practice I had chance to get on the dirt with, but because the battery had died, so then I spent like 20 minutes trying to borrow stuff from people and get it going. It didn't really work, but I managed to get out on the SMT, which is tarmac only, but that's what I was doing all day yesterday, so I felt like I didn't really want to keep doing that today. And so now that's it, I've just got to go straight in for qualifying, see how the dirt section goes, and hopefully make it round.
Start making your way to the holding bay now, please. Riders, make your way to the holding bay.
So I qualified 16 out of 20. However, I only got 3 laps, which was 3 laps on the dirt. So the first lap it was a bit like, oh, where am I going? The second lap was like, oh, I think I found the line where I was supposed to be, and then the third lap it was like, oh, I might try and push, and then that was it. It was checker flags. So hopefully in the race I can keep picking the pace up a little bit on that dirt section as I go, as I get a bit more confident. But there's a big difference between the first time around the dirt and the last time, so hopefully this isn't like where I'll settle. Well, that was it. That was the end of my very first race weekend. That's all wrapped up now. Finally home. I managed to get as much footage as we could. Obviously Amy was filming as much as she could, but all the cameras, all the batteries ended up dying after the weekend, and that was it. Basically, I think I think maybe only got the first race on the Sunday, just a bit of footage, like setting off. The best finish I got was in my last race. I managed to get 13th. So that's kind of gives me some, that's like the most I got, pushed on as hard as I felt I could, got 13th. So now on to Three Sisters, which is in, what, 5 weeks? And then hopefully get a better race result then and just see how it goes.